me about your rig.
Little Red?
Yeah, the Little Red wagon.
So, Little Red started off life as a 2005 Kenworth T800 road tractor. It was bought, if my story is mistaken, I hope you forgive me for it.
That's fine.
The story I've gotten and the story I understand, it was bought by David's Towing over there in Hampton, Newport News, and it was bought and pulled a land haul with it. They sold the truck and the trailer. Believe it or not, we ended up with the trailer years ago, and Jack Jr. bought this truck in 2013. He bought it, sent it off to Auto Equipment in Statesville, North Carolina, had it stretched, and the 5130 25-ton wrecker body was added to it. Jack and Jackie, who was his daughter, had it, and it was run by, I believe, Bobby Meadows. I think they had it for 4 or 5 years, then it got sold, and Rawlings bought it, and he had it for a couple of years. Well, this truck was a lot like truck 20 we have, which in our previous videos was that 9055 we rode around in, the big straight pipes. And the reason it was like that truck, it was bought and it sat after it was built. So from the time that it was converted to a wrecker, all the way up until the time we got it, I think it had maybe 50,000 miles put on.
Oh, this truck's never really been driven.
It's never really been worked. Now, we bought it with 172 about a little over a year ago, about 14, 16 months ago, and right now I'm at 212.
You have put some miles on it.
So I have been working this truck. I put about 40,000 miles on it. This truck works about every day. The worst part about it is it's short. Now, it's short and it doesn't have a lot of weight. It's got a little baby C13 up front and a little 10-speed behind it. But because it's short, I like it. I get in and out of tight places with it, and I can do a lot with it. The wrecker boom is a Century 5130. So that's a 25-ton boom with a 35-ton underreach, which is what you tow by. So you meet it, it's a 25-ton, I guess is what you would call it. I'm sorry, it's a 20-ton boom with a, or 20, I don't know. Forgive me, I can't cuss, can I?
You're fine, You're good, man.
So,
ride's pretty nice too.
Yeah, it rides good. It's on the 8-bag air ride suspension in the back, which I'm getting ready to put all new bags under it. They're all cracked up. So, anyways, it's got the little C13. It's an Acer motor. It's got a set of twins hanging off the side of it. By twins, I mean 2 turbos. They're in a compound setup. One feeds the other. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I'm not a fan of them. It's rated at 435 horsepower. I hooked the computer to it. It's actually turned up to 470. It's a very lazy 470. There's a difference between small block and big block 470. By that I mean the other truck we rode in had a 3406E, which is kind of like a C15.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of cubic inches. It can utilize that 470 horsepower a lot easier and a lot quicker than this little truck can. But I still tow almost everything under the sun with it, unless it's really heavy, like quad axle dump trucks and above, or vacuum trucks, stuff like that, because they're so heavy in the back, it'll actually pick the nose of the wrecker up in the air when I pick it up.
Basically a big wheelie.
Yeah, basically a big wheelie. Now, I still pull wheelies a lot, going around and doing whatever. But it's, it's part of the game. The old timers always said the wrecker ain't working until the front end's in there. We bought it. I've done a little bit to it since we've had it, but it's actually been a pretty good truck so far.
That's good.
We bought it, and I put the floaters on the front, which are the bigger tires, the 385, 85s on 22.5 wheels. And I ran the rack on it, which was adjusting the valves and stuff.
Yeah.
And pretty much maintenance stuff is all I had to do. Put a set of tires on the back. Not a whole lot of stuff that's really needed to be done. So far, it's been a good little truck. Now, tomorrow it may blow up, but that's the name of the game.
What kind of horn is on this thing?
I don't know the brand, but I can tell you it's on a ball valve, which makes it a little bit louder than the other one because it gets a little bit more air to it.
That's loud too, buddy.
Yeah, but it's right behind the cab. It's angled down so water doesn't get in it, so hopefully it lasts a little bit longer. This truck is not as, I guess, exciting as the other truck you rode in. It doesn't have Jake brakes, it doesn't have straight pipes. It's really tame. It did come with the big drop visor sitting up front, which I kind of like. Adds a little bit of character to it. It came with the big shifter extension on it, so the shifter's way up in the air. And, you know, stuff like that. It's got blue lights, and at night you cut a switch and it lights blue lights up underneath the dash. It's got underglow underneath of it. It came with a camera.
Oh, nice. So you can see what's going on behind.
Yeah, I can watch the trucks fall off the hook when I hit a bump.
Oh, wow.
That's a joke. You don't want that to happen.
But I know for you it's good for the back off.
Yeah, I know how close
keep your eye on
it is and stuff like that. It's got good lighting all the way around it. You know, it's a good little truck. It's not the best in the world. There are other 5130s that'll definitely outwork this one. Yeah. Like lengthwise, they'll tow more. A couple of my buddies run some, but they're longer, so they can pick up big loaded quad axle dump trucks and go down the road with them. I can't do that. If I pick it up, I'll stand the front end way up in the air. You know, it has its ups and downs.
That's the fun part. That's, you know, when a record's working.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, fun.
Now, I've taken her on a few recoveries. I don't like to do a whole lot with it because it is a smaller truck, i.e. the boom is smaller and shorter. It can't take a whole lot of abuse. Now, don't get me wrong, they can work. I have worked the guts out of this truck. But as far as like picking up heavy weight, big containers that have fallen down and stuff like that, and doing the oddball stuff that I do, I try not to take this truck because if I have bigger, there's no sense in using the smaller one and just wearing it out.
Right.
But I have uprighted a few things with it. I've pulled a bunch of stuff out of the ditches with it. But its main purpose is to tow.
There you go.
I was taught how to drive by the old school guys. You don't touch a clutch pedal unless you stop.
All right.
Sure. I know a lot of young guys that double clutch. I can't do it.
Now how many speeds is this transmission?
10.
10.
Yeah. You don't really use the low gear a whole lot. That's 10. That's all she's got.
It's all 10?
Yeah. So you got all three of your horns. You got your city horn. You got your honker horn. And then you got your get out of my way horn.
Man, I know you one thing. When you're in town, you make sure this thing's present.
Yeah, I don't really use the train horns a whole lot unless it's a panic situation. The worst part about these things is it's a giant billboard with phone numbers written on it. So if someone cuts me off and I hit them with then they call the shop and they tell them that I'm the problem and that I get complaints. So I don't really use it unless I really need to be heard, like wreck scenes or something like that, where I need to get attention. Or I'm just seeing a buddy of mine. So, you know, it is what it is. Most of the time it's this one.
They sound good. Do you know what brand the quads are? The Joel's are, I'm sorry.
Kenworth brand, buddy. They've been on the truck since it was born.
Okay, so the Kenworth brand.
I don't know, they're probably Hadleys or whatever Kenworth has, you know, that they purchase and put on trucks. So, but all in all, I tend to like the little truck. I soon drive it to do 90% of my work. If I'm not in this, I'm usually in the rotator.
Yeah.
You know, if this doesn't do it, if I can't do it with this, usually it's bad enough that it warrants the rotator to be taken out and used because it's usually safer. Now, don't get me wrong, the big 50 ton can do a lot.
Oh yeah,
but
20 can do a whole lot.
20 is getting older. I jokingly always say, when this truck came, I put truck 20 in retirement because she sits a lot now. But to be quite honest with you, after 10 years of me driving it and running the you-know-what out of it, It probably could use some time off.
Oh,
That truck
absolutely.
works. That truck has worked. This one here is she's doing some work here and there.
Yeah, but at least you've got 20 for the big stuff when you need
I got
it.
20 in the rotator, and Chip actually usually drives 20 a lot more.
Yeah.
I've kind of set that up for him, and I take the rotator out a lot.
At least it gives you a break from some of this other stuff too.
Yeah. So we talked about, and I always make a joke. I want to put straight pipes on this one. Chip won't let me. He says I can't be obnoxious anymore. I've outgrown that, so I get it. But also, I don't, I'm on the fence about it. I would love to have the straights, and the truck would sound cool. But I carry this truck home a lot, and my neighbors, come on, buddy, use the right pedal. There you go. My neighbors wouldn't like a big straight pipe Caterpillar. So I took, again, truck 20 home with that big kitty in it and straight pipes, and it was about, I don't know, 28 degrees one morning. I fired it up.
It was loud.
It was loud, and it was missing because I had an injector that wasn't working right. And my neighbor texted me and said I knocked the pictures off the walls. So I try not to take her home. But this one here, I can sneak in and out with no problem.
3-tron train horn on the back. I see that.
Oh yeah.
3-tron.
Yep. I got a tunnel box that'll go between the boxes in the back, which will help me with storage.
There you go.
We bought it the week after we bought this truck. It's been sitting in the shop ever since. I haven't had a chance to put it in. It ain't the powerhouse, but it'll get on down the road. That was a 58 to 70 full. Speed limit 65, so we ain't really speeding here.
Straight. She rides great. That C13 sounds really good.
Yep, it's like I said, a lot of people like the twins that are on the side of it. I'm not a fan of them. They're problematic, and I think I have one of the turbos that's starting to act up right now. Because I get up some days and go down the road, and usually I peak out wide open, tacked up, pulling a load. I'll peak out at about, I don't know, 45, 48 pounds of boost. And sometimes I'll get up and go down the road. I get about 25 is all I'll get out of it. So I think I'm having a boost problem. When it finally rears its ugly face, I'll peel the two off, and you can get a kit that converts it to one big turbo.
Oh, that'll at least save you a little bit of money.
No, I think the kit's about the same as putting the twins up there.
Okay.
But the longevity of it and how much easier it is on the truck, not easier on the truck, I'm sorry, how much easier it is on you to maintain it, I guess is the best way to say.
Cuts a little bit of the maintenance cost.
Yeah, like I said, the Cat Acer with the twins are known to be a problem. People are going to say, oh, they're great, blah, 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 and I had 1.5 million miles out of mine. Yeah, a lot of people do, but I believe in law of averages. And most people I know that have them hate them. So, and they always talk about how they want to peel it off and put the one big one on there, and we'll pretty much turn it into like an old C15 or an old 34.6. Same concept with the C13. You can peel off the twins, put the one big one up there. Wow. So, I'm hoping that if we ever do that, I could get, I don't know how much of a pain it would be. I said earlier, the truck doesn't have Jake brakes.
Right.
I would love to have it. It would help the truck out a little bit with stopping. Also, they sound cool, and who doesn't like cracking the Jakes going down the road?
Jacob's Jake brake is a classic sound for a trucker.
So,
especially if it's an old school trucker.
If and we do pull the turbos off, I will kick and scream and stomp my feet and see if Boss Man can put a set of Jakes on it. Realistically, he'll probably tell me no, but you don't know what's going to happen until you ask. Now, like I said before, this truck is red. It doesn't match our color schemes. We're going to send it off and get it wrapped. We're debating. We kind of wanted like a rustic American flag down the side. Then we debated on just wrapping the whole thing white and then putting our colors on it. Our rotator has leukemia. The leukemia badge is down the side for the boss's wife had leukemia. So we lost a friend of ours not long ago that was near and dear to us. He lost his wife to breast cancer. I'm trying to get the truck wrapped with the breast cancer theme as their homage to them.
That's right.
But I don't know how it's going to work out. it sounds stupid. I support all the cancers and support the fight against it.
I do too.
But if the truck just doesn't look right and it's not cost effective, I can't imagine doing it.
Right.
But I think it'll look okay. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm petitioning for a cab extension. You showed me shifting gears earlier. I'm 6'4", crammed in this cab. I look like I'm bearing a unicycle riding this thing. You can get a cab extension that'll push your cab back, give you a little bit more leg room, but it's like $11,000 to put it on, to buy and put it on, and match the paint. And I just don't know if it's worth it. I couldn't fathom spending the money, and I don't even own the damn trucks, so it is what it is. But yeah, the coolest thing about this truck that I like is we had a set of extender feet. They actually came with it. We got a set on the 50-ton, but this truck came with them. They're kind of homemade, so the wreckers in the back have what we call stiff legs or hydraulic jacks, whatever, that go down, and they support the back of the truck so you can work. And they're in the very, very back on the tailboard. This truck came with some homemade pieces. Again, like I said, we have some made for our 50-ton, where you pull a pin and you slide it out, and it gives it outward stability.
There you go.
And this truck came with them, and it really, I liked it because working back roads, lifting trailers out of ditches and lifting trucks out of ditches, you could really work off the side. Now, again, like I said before, this truck's a lightweight truck. It's not going to do a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
But any little bit helps.